This is the Neon Tarantino, the director, Derek Dillinger.
And Katie Arquette, the leading lady of the production.
And we're live. No second takes, no reshoots.
And you're watching the Main Event Wrestling Network.
Cut.
Hello, Main Event Wrestling Network. Welcome in to the fourth of a weekend's full of mixers here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. I am JPJ. As you can see, I am joined by three of my pals, and we are going to be breaking down tonight's AEW Forbidden Door that is happening a mere few hours away from now. So let me go around the room. I will start with you, Ian. How are we doing, my friend?
We are doing good. It is really nice weather out here in Indiana, so feeling really good and having a good time. But yeah, beautiful Sunday. I'm always excited on AEW Sundays. I wish they were not on Sundays because I know I'm going to be tired throughout the rest of the week. But 4th of July weekend's coming up, so at least we got that to look forward to. But yeah, not just me. We got Charlie Butters here as well. What's up, Charlie?
Yeah.
Hey, so this pay-per-view ends at 10 o'clock for me, regardless if it's actually done or not. I have to be up at 5 in the morning for work, so
I'm right with you.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I got to wake up super early too, so I have a hard cutoff time too. But yeah, and then we have rounding out the panel today, kicking out Pod. It says Main Event Shep on there. I don't know about that, but we got Shep. We got my man Shep down there. How we doing, pal?
Good, man. I'm in Indiana as well. It's 85 and sunny outside right now. And unfortunately, when 10 o'clock comes, I'm going to have to go to bed as well.
Yeah. What happens when,
whether this pay-per-view's over or not.
I think we're just too old. We got responsibilities. I can't be. I love you, Tony, but I can't be up till 12:30 or 1 o'clock on a month. I got to wake up. I got to wake up tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
But no, we are here excited to talk about this show tonight with all you fellas. It should be a really, really good one. But before we start diving in, as you can see, go give us a follow here. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. We're almost on the road. We are on the road to 400, almost at 400. And go follow us on X and Instagram. X, I can't believe I did that. On Twitter.
Come on.
Yeah. Main event _ main event. Yeah. But yes. And then you can follow all of us. This is all of us. You can follow us. We would very much appreciate that. But tonight it is AEW Forbidden Door from San Jose, California. We have 11 matches on the card, 2 pre-show matches and 9 main card matches. And we'll start very quickly. We'll go through the 2 pre-show matches. 4 women's matches on this show tonight, which is nice to see. And both the pre-show matches are in the women's division. We have ourselves a survival of the fittest qualifying match happening between Sky Blue and I believe it's Maika from Stardom. I don't know much about her, so pardon me. I don't watch Stardom, so I don't know a ton about the Stardom gals, but that is one. And then the other one is the Divine Dominion defending the Women's World Tag Team Championships against Thunder Rosa and Olympia, who I believe is from CMLL. So we're getting representation in both of the pre-show matches. Let's start with the qualifying match. Shep, main event Shep, I'll start with you, pal. It's a Stardom person. It's Sky Blue. What are you feeling? Obviously, on Wednesday we have the Survival of the Fittest to crown a new TBS champion. Who do you think is going to be making it to Wednesday to vie for that title?
I think it's Sky Blue. Sorry, she deserves it. And the lady from Stardom, I think they're going to have a hell of a match. Don't get me wrong. She's a really good. I've seen one match from her. Only thing I could find. Really, really good performer. But it's Sky Blue for sure. Moving on to Wednesday.
Butters, how about you? You agree?
I mean, I love Sky Blue. She was at a Toy Hio that I got to help out with, and I sat and talked with her for a couple hours. She's awesome. However, you have this talent here probably for the entire month. Like I know there's a Stardom is touring a lot of their talent around. AIW has them, Enjoy has them this coming month. I wouldn't be surprised if she moves on and leaves Sky Blue without anything to do on Wednesday. So
Ian, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm also, Sky Blue is from Illinois, from Chicagoland area. So Kyle and I, other co-hosts of OTM, we've seen Sky Blue throughout the ranks of the independent wrestling. So we've always been a fan of her. She's a fantastic talent. The issue is just that I think a lot of the women's division struggle with is keeping that attention. Like, I think she had an incredible showing at last year's Blood and Guts match. And that was kind of the eye-opener for most general audience of AEW. Like, oh, Sky Blue has got it. Whatever that it is nowadays, but it's the retention of the fans that we need to work on. And I think having this match, a one-on-one match for Sky Blue albeit it's a pre-show match, but I think the main purpose of Sky Blue being on this match is she needs to show out and show how good she can be. And I think having a talent like Maika on the other end of the ring is a great way of doing so. Mm-hmm. So win or lose, I think Sky Blue wins this match. She just needs to garner the fans, and I think she's still in that stage. So I'm going to take Maika as well. I didn't know that we had her for a while in AEW, so with that knowledge, I'm going to go with Maika.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, the match that we're going to get on Wednesday is a 6-woman match, so we still have to have a few more, we're still rounding out that field. So it would make sense. We have Persephone in there who represents CMLL a little bit, and having a Stardom person in there too represent, like, that makes all the sense in the world. The thing where I'm leaning with Shep here with Sky Blue is I feel like Tekla's the world champion. She's been a great world champion in my opinion. We'll talk about her a little bit later, but I feel like most of the time we see Julia Hart and Sky Blue, they're taking L's. They're not really like doing any, they're the henchwomen. I don't want them to just be the sidekicks. I don't want them to just be the cronies to Tekla. And I feel like Sky Blue, I don't think she would win the match on Wednesday, but like Sky Blue getting into that match to me is just like, okay, like this is a win. I just feel like they need to win more matches. So they're also credible in that group and not just there to help Tekla win all the time. Like they're actually accomplishing things. So that's why I'm kind of leaning Sky Blue a smidge. But I could easily see them wanting to get this to get the most out of the Stardom people while they're over here and absolutely kind of add some even more Forbidden Door flair post Forbidden Door. But if I'm picking, I think I'm aligning with Shep. So we're kind of split here. Where Shep and I think it'll be Sky Blue and you guys are taking Maika. I don't think we're going to be split on this second one. I think we're all going to be in agreement. I don't see a way in hell that Divine Dominion are losing these tag titles. I think the match will be good. I've seen a little bit of Olympia. She's very fun and good. And Thunder Rosa is still pretty damn good. I expect this to be a good match. I expect it to be one of the tougher ones Divine Dominion has had. But there is just no way that they're losing this match, Butters. I think this is easy.
Yeah. I've got to see them defend the titles live, and they are so impressive. They are like the skyscrapers of the women's division, and it's going to take. If in my opinion, it would take somebody like Tony Storm to come back with Mina to get those off of them, because I don't see them losing anytime soon to anybody else.
Yeah. Ian, how are you feeling? I think you in agreement here that this is,
100%. I think we're all just on a trajectory that it's going to lead to something major for the tag titles. Divine Dominion they feel like monsters. It's just they don't necessarily have that I need to go see this match kind of monster feeling, and I don't think that's happening yet because we don't have a lot of contenders for those titles right now. We have Thunder Rosa and somebody from CMLL. Again, I think it's all in the long term. Whether that is a Tony Storm and Mina coming back and as a tag team, I think that's a formidable opponent. But we're not there yet. So just kind of let Divine Dominion iron out the wrinkles and their performance and let them hold these tag titles.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there are good teams down the line. Like I think all you're talking all in. I think the Brawling Birds are a shoe in for that title match there, and you saw a good tag team, and one of the people we'll be talking about later. But Maya World and Hyann, I think, is another strong tag team you can have in that division if you really buy in on them, regardless of kind of what happens with Maya World tonight and stuff like that. So I do think more formidable. I'm glad they're getting an actual full match and it's not just like the 5-minute thing. Like I think tonight's match they'll get time and it will be really, really good. And I think that's how you build them up until we get to whatever significant first feud they really end up having. Shep, are you with the rest of us thinking, this is kind of.
Yeah, I'm 100% agreement. And plus, I think if it's time, when it is time for a title change, I don't think Tony will put it on a pre-show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a way to get Thunder Rosa a rep. I've always kind of lobbied for her to more TV time. I know she's injury prone. It happens. I'd love to see her more on my Wednesday or Saturday night television. But we're getting her on a pre-show. So you throw her with a random partner. They're not a true tag team. So, they're going to retain here. And when it is time for a title change, we're going to see that on a big stage.
For sure. Absolutely. All right. Then we get to the main card. We get to the big stage of the evening. We're going to stick with the tag team trend here because why not? We have ourselves a tag team championship match this evening. It is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defending against the Dogs. One thing I will say is I think over the last month, AEW has done a really good job of making the Dogs look good. Look really, really good. Look really, really strong heading into that match. I don't know if that will change how I feel this match will end because I'll start and then I'll swing it to you, Shep. I think Copeland and Christian Cage are going to retain. They just won them. I think this is going to be a really, really strong match, though. I think the Dogs, even though it'll be another big loss for them, I think they're going to look like $1 million in this match as they kind of have in this build. But I'm picking Copeland and Christian, Shep, to retain the belts here.
Yeah, Cope and Cage were my number 9 pick in our prediction show. So, which is our highest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the Dogs. I do, but I think Finley's going to transition to more of an individual star. Gabe Kidd's coming back from injury. I know he had some visa issues too. I don't know. I want to get into that, but Finley is an individual heel, and I can't wait till he's an individual heel. I think it's going to be a dogfight, no pun intended. But I got Cope and Cage as well.
All right, Ian, how are you feeling about this tag title match?
I absolutely love it because they tried to do the whole the 5-second pose or whatever. I forget this 7-second pose. I love that segment because that made me immediately be like, okay, they are going for the entertainment value. The Dogs, I don't think, have won a single match besides maybe a tune-up match or something on Collision since they've been here. And that's my only criticism is they don't win matches, which that's okay as long as we're entertaining. And they've been super entertaining. Every single week they've had a segment. I've gotten more locked in. I'm like, I can't wait to go see whatever backstage, shenanigans they're going to get into. And I think Cope and Cage are, no matter what they're in, it's going to be entertaining. So this is just the perfect, young pups going against the grizzled veterans, and the young pups are going to look a little bit better. No pun very intended, actually, with the Dogs. But I think there's something more on the horizon for the Dogs. One Gabe Kidd does come back, I think, with the Bullet Club. That whole scene needs to happen. Eventually, Jay White's going to come back. Again, hopefully that's a feud with David Finlay. So that's all just projection and hoping that it happens. But hopefully we get there. Give me Cope and Cage.
All right. Butters, how about you round this one out? How are you feeling? You think, like the rest of us, that Copeland and Cage will be retaining?
Being their first offense, it's hard to see them losing to the Dogs. They have done a great job building them up. I believe I read Gabe Kidd is As far as I understand, he was already back in New Japan, and I believe he finally got his stuff cleared. He could be at the show tonight. I mean, it would be a shock if they won and beat Copeland and Cage. It could be something different, but if I was, I'm not really a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I would bet on Christian and Cope.
Let me ask you this: if the Dogs do pull up an upset, are you upset?
No,
Not at all.
Love it. I think that kind of speaks volumes to the build that they've had. Again, it's like I don't think they're going to win whatsoever, but I'm not upset with them, being around these tag titles at all.
No, because I mean, you look at AEW right now with FTR gone. Who's our true heel tag team?
None.
Yeah, we don't. So I mean, if you're gonna make the title change right now, you could really push these guys. I don't think it'll happen, but we do need a heel tag team in AEW right now.
There's the issue with that is there's so many heel champions right now in AEW that it's like I don't know if we could do another, but I agree with you. There are so many. Yeah. There's a lot of face tag teams, especially the ones that are in the main event scene.
Yeah. And I think we got a little bit of a tease. I don't know what happened right there. I had an error screen pop up and I
blame
it out for him. Yeah, I always do. Yeah, I think we got a little bit of a tease on it Wednesday night with Copeland and Christian beating up the Dogs at first, and they kind of walked by the Bucks and that. I think at Redemption next month, it's going to be Cope and Christian versus the Bucks for the title. Like, I think that's where they're going. But yeah, I do agree. I do think we don't have many heel tag teams in the men's division, or strong heel tag teams, I should say. But we might have a couple new tag teams coming in the next little bit here. Maybe. Well, maybe, maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah. All right. Another tag team match. This is a 3-way tag team match, a showcase match. It is the Young Bucks, obviously representing AEW, versus El Sky Team, which is Mystico and Mascara Dorada representing CMLL, and then Unbound Company, which is Shingo Takagi and Teton representing New Japan Pro Wrestling. This should be a good one. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think, these are all 3 strong tag teams. It should be a lot of fun. But like I just said, I think I'm expecting the Young Bucks to go after the titles here soon. So I think the Young Bucks are going to win this one, Ian.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. This is the epitome of Tony Khan just playing with his action figures and seeing what happens, and I am super excited for it because Young Bucks are really good at these multi-tag team teams. I don't know if they're the ones choreographing everything, but man, they are very fun. So I will be seated for this match. I know nothing about the other two teams besides the singles. I know everybody. I just don't know them as a tag team. So I am expecting this to be absolutely insane and probably 30 minutes for some reason, but I'm going to be locked in the entire time. Give me the Young Bucks.
And Ophelia saying that the Sky Team just won the Ring of Honor tag team belts last week or on Friday. So they're coming in as champions. So, that could be, could maybe them sneak a win, or, I know AEW doesn't really, they always don't follow that route, but Butters, how are you feeling about this kind of showcase match between the 3 different companies here?
I mean, everybody is going to be seated, but you're probably only going to need the edge of your seat because this match is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Sky Team is crazy. I love them so much. I love Mystico. Like, I don't know what didn't translate with him in WWE, but this version of Mystico is just so fun to watch. He was fun to watch on Wednesday, teaming with Brodito. Give me Sky Team full-time in AEW. I love them. But yeah, Young Bucks, they did tease them going after Cope and Christian, and I think that seems like the next logical step here is Cope and Christian kind of being the tweeners that they are right now, going up against the face Young Bucks. And I think that's going to be a really fun feud. And I think that's something that obviously the Young Bucks have been dreaming about since they were kids. And now getting to do that on the big stage will be really fun. Probably going to see that later in the summer going into All In. I think that's something we're going to be looking at there. But that's a definite marquee tag team title match that I would put on my WrestleMania of sorts, or my biggest show of the year. So I kind of see them taking the win here.
Yeah, and Shep, like the way that I agree. I think the new pay-per-view next month in Canada, Montreal. I think that's where we get the proper like tag team versus tag team, Bucks and Cope and Christian, and then I see the All In match being a 3-way with FTR in
calling
there.
a TLC
And,
match.
and
TLC,
do that.
Oh
and
my!
then if I have the pencil, I have the New Day debut there after that match. Whoever wins, which I would probably now, and we got months ago, I would pick the Bucks to win that match, and then the New Day show up, and you got the Bucks and the New Day, and that's the jolt of your tag team division where it's like, oh boy, and then you kind of go. But it starts with tonight, Shep. Obviously, you can lean into that, but like what you think's going on tonight, but.
So yeah, tonight I think that this show tonight, this match will have no more than 15 high spots, right?
Yeah.
And I might be light, but yeah, I believe the Bucks will go over and carry on. Now going into what you were just saying, have a New Day appear. How about we go into London with a mystery tag team, and the New Day back in the day brought the Hardys into that tag team. How all of a sudden you have the mystery tag team be the New Day, and they get the pop in this ladder match.
It's possible. I think we're going to see the Motor City Machine Guns debut on the way to All In. I could even see it be a 4-way with them involved at All In as well, because after their 90-day, there is a Dynamite in Detroit, which I think would be obviously the perfect sense for them to show up there. And then, yeah, I just feel like you could lean in. If you want to sell more tickets, lean into the mystery team, or you debut maybe the New Day on the way there, and but I feel like you bring the Motor City Machine Guns in, you got this story you've been building with the Bucks and Cope and FTR. Like, that's a strong unit of teams there that you could get away with the New Day maybe showing up at that show instead of beforehand. But either way, I think on the men's side, at least, the tag team division is in a really good spot right now with kind of how the next couple months look like it's going to be. So
even with FTR taking a break.
Yeah, 100%.
AEW is the best. In my opinion, I think AEW is at its best when the tag team division is at its best. Tag team wrestling just screams AEW wrestling to me, especially the old school when they first started out in 2019, kind of the crazy high spots, fun stuff. Anytime I talk about a Young Bucks match, it is just fun. And it is give me as many tag teams as possible in there.
Yeah.
Let's not forget too, the Hurt Business still exists.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is definitely possibility for there just to be multiple tag team matches on All In. So I mean, they don't even have to jam everybody into one match. It could be just a tag title match, 2-on-2, and then other matches. I mean, it could be New Day against FTR on that show too. I mean, it could be a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, let's move along here. We have a singles match for the AEW Continental Championship. I am looking forward to this one, boys. Big time. This is for me. They are going to beat the absolute piss out of each other, and I'm going to love every second of it. It is Jon Moxley defending against the Ring of Honor World Champion, Bandito. Nobody at ringside, Continental rules. Everybody banned from ringside, just mano a mano. This is going to hump, guys. They are going to beat the crap out of each other. Butters, I'll go right back to you and start with you, man. How you feeling about this? Who is leaving Forbidden Door as your Continental Champion?
I'm an Ohio boy. My Ohio boy, Jon Moxley, the leader of the Death Riders, is leaving as the champion. I love Bandito. I think he is a phenomenal talent. I think this match is going to showcase that Mox can go against anybody and have a killer match. Yeah, it's Mox all day. I've very recently realized that Mox is just that fucking dude. So
He is.
And I should have known this a lot longer. But like he's really captured me with his Continental run. And I don't see it ending until the Continental Classic coming up in December.
All right. Yeah, I think you're not alone in that. Like, I think, Moxley's just kind of been the standard there since the beginning. And I think there's been multitude of times over the years where us as fans, whether we not really got sick of him, but we were just kind of like, and you look back on it and it's just like, dude, this dude's been this good for this. Like, he is Mr. Like, Hangman is the main character and I love Hangman, but like, if you're asking me who I feel like Mr. AEW is, it's Jon Moxley. That is who my answer is. No question.
Look at the year without the title, it was in the briefcase the entire year. Yeah. He still put on stellar matches the entire year. Yeah, I was tired of them. I was tired of the Death Riders. And I think they knew that everybody was tired of them. He drops the belt, it comes back, he kind of does this thing for a little bit, then he goes to the Continental Classic, goes on a run, and then he cuts these promos. I mean, he's back to like he's just kind of, in between that heel and face. It's just, and he's just so cool. Like that dude like has that aura about him. Like I want to be Jon Moxley. Like he's the fucking man.
Yeah. Yeah. Shep.
Well, I mean, you want to be Jon Moxley because he goes to bed with Renee every night, right?
Not a bad thing, brother.
Not a bad thing. No, I mean, you look at Jon right now. He is the workhorse of AEW. This guy is on every Wednesday night, puts on a 20-minute match, give or take, and takes these guys, whether it's Bandito, Kevin Knight, undercard guys, and he elevates them. He is doing God's work for AEW. Like, he is elevating everybody he's working with.
He's elevated Will Ospreay, for crying out loud. A guy that was already at the top. He was already elevated at the top, and he's made, to me, he was that missing element that kind of got Ospreay to what we're going to be talking about later.
Yeah,
that's
and
cooler as a team too.
Yeah,
yeah.
And Moxley did not break face when Ospreay tripped.
And fell over.
Which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyways, Moxley is running right now with what they've given him, and he's just keep on going. Obviously, I have Mox go over Bandito, and I love it, and I love. Moxley is the positive thing with the Death Riders right now because there's a little negative, taking a lot of L's in other places. But Mox is just, he's killing it.
Yeah. Ian, how are you feeling?
Well, gentlemen, we've all been praising Moxley. We keep forgetting about the guy that's across the ring, and that's Bandito. Bandito has arguably Wrestler of the Year last year. Arguably.
100%.
Out of every company, and I think he's not fallen off a little bit. He just hasn't been given the screen time recently. In the past month or so, they're trying to reconnect that Brody kind of tag team turmoil, whatever they got going on now. Here's where I stand on it. I'm looking up and down in the card. We all know this is going to be a fantastic match. Moxley makes every single title match feel like a main event every single time. It's got that big fight feel to it, which is hard to come by in wrestling. Looking up and down on this card of Forbidden Door, we don't have a single title change, in my opinion. I was kind of maybe some spoilers, but I think we're going to have a title change at some point, and I think this match is going to be the one that happens because I think if we have Bandito win that tag title or the main title, no one's upset about it. Everyone's excited. Plus, if it fails within the week or so, we have redemption right around the corner. No one's complaining about Moxley versus Bandito, number 2. Give me Bandito here in an upset victory. If there's one guy that could do these upset victories perfectly, it's Bandito. He has the underdog feel to him every single match he's in, even though we know how good he could be and how good he is. Moxley's done fantastic with the title. I don't think he's going anywhere. Obviously, give me Bandito, upset victory.
I like it. All right. Shep, you just talked about the Death Riders and the other guys taking a lot of L's recently. Well, I think tonight one of the other guys might be taking another L as we have a singles match for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Shota Umino, Moxley's old young boy, who just won this title from Andrade, is going up against one of the Death Riders, Pac. I think this is the match where the New Japan kind of gets their victory of the evening. And I have Shota Umino defeating Pac, and then obviously that can lean into Moxley kind of looking at Pac and being like, "You got beat by my young boy guy? My young boy beat you? Are you kidding me?" And you can kind of tell a cool story if you wanted to. Ian, I'll go right back to you with this. I just think this is there's been a lot of some higher performers in New Japan. The world champion, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the world champion has been very vocal about how AEW, Tsuji, I'm sorry, has been very vocal about how AEW treats New Japan at these type of shows. So I think it would be a pretty bad look for this guy to have just won the global championship and then come over and drop it to an AEW guy. I just don't foresee that happening. I think this is where New Japan gets their victory here, and Shota beats Pac. I don't like Pac taking another loss. He's been taking a lot of them lately, but I think it makes sense if you tell a greater story at hand with the Death Riders and Pac and Moxley, if you can kind of lean into some questioning, I guess, there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing with these losses, I don't think in AEW, I don't think losses mean as much, in my opinion, unless you're going for a title where it literally is you need to win to get to the title. I get that, absolutely, obviously. But this match is just kind of, again, it's the action figure. I want to see this guy face this guy in Tony Khan's mind. Like you said, I think the fallout speaks more to the actual result of the match. If you do use this match for the actual AEW storyline with Pac and whether that's Moxley, Death Riders, what have you, have fun with it. I think that does wonders for Pac. And again, Pac is Pac. He is absolutely fantastic, and he's going to have, again, this could be an arguable match of the night. So for an AEW show, that's all you really need out of the performers. Give me Shota to win this, especially since he just won the title. Pac's going to remind everybody why he's one of the greatest wrestlers.
Yeah, I agree. Butters, how are you feeling about this Global Heavyweight Championship?
The was a Mahuji what? I know. So, yeah, I have not much interest in this. I think you're right. This is going to be the New Japan. We got to win on the AEW pay-per-view match. Pac is a great opponent for anybody to face. He is a stellar talent. This is where he kind of fits in with it. Like this should be fine, but not something this could have been pre-show and I'd have been fine, but obviously they want to give it a little bit more respect. So,
Shep, how you feeling about this?
I think Shota obviously retains, but I was a little butthurt that the actual IWGP Heavyweight Championship didn't want to come over and do this match, or do a match, not this match, a match. So yeah, I think you talked about it earlier. Like this is the one that New Japan goes over. You know, they get their W here. They get their asterisk, their hand raised. I think it's a good match. I mean, obviously, I think Pac's an amazing performer. So, but Shota goes over. New Japan gets their flowers, and we move on.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, I would have loved the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, but he has been the most vocal of them all about how he doesn't like the relationship, doesn't want, because they, according to him, AEW makes them look like fools. So, hopefully maybe that's something that can be worked over time.
I was going to say, can I say something just really quick about the relationship? So I think the biggest thing, AEW fans and New Japan fans, like, there's not a lot of cross unless, like, you're one of the, like, crazy sickos that watch everything. Which is maybe the 2% of AEW fans, maybe. It's just, for me, speaking as a AEW fan, I like seeing New Japan. I think they've gotten a lot better with utilizing the talent. Even if they lose, it's like, I'm going to remember that name. There is North American fans of wrestling, and then there's Japanese fans of wrestling. Like, completely two separate worlds. And when there is cross, I see no harm, no foul, because you're going to remember their names. If they are that good in the ring, which is the best way of getting over an AEW, for AEW fans, that it's a win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. All right. Kind of, I think as far as like the Forbidden Door aspect of the show, I think without question, the match for the AEW Women's World Championship has been the best build when it comes to Tekla versus Starlight Kid. Obviously, Tekla's story and disdain for Stardom has been excellent. She showed up over there. She's been torturing the guy who runs Stardom over there. There's a good history here. She's 0-4 in her history against Starlight Kid, has never beaten Starlight Kid. Tony Khan is on record saying that Starlight Kid is his favorite wrestler in the world. And she's coming over tonight. I'm excited. I have people that I respect that do watch a lot of Star. I do not watch Star, and they said that this girl is special and like we're going to see some really, really special stuff. I've loved everything about Tekla since the second I saw her. I think she's only gotten better. I think she's become a true star in the company with this title reign and letting her talk. I love Tekla. I'm picking Tekla, but I do think if there was going to be an upset, I think there's potential for one here, Shep. I wouldn't bet on it. But I do think that Starlight Kid has an actual chance here.
I never hated Tekla because her in-ring work is so good. I kind of got on her about her mic work, but she has gotten so much better. This Starlight Kid, though, like, oh, she's amazing. I YouTube a couple matches, obviously doing some homework, and I'm like, holy cow, she's very, very talented performer. I love that Tekla keeps attacking the CEO of Stardom. I think that's hilarious. I think that's a great gimmick. But I don't know if I want this Starlight Kid as our world champion. I don't know if she can. I know she's known overseas, but I don't know if she's known here. Hell of a match, but I still got Tekla.
Yeah, I just think there's a cool story you could tell if she were like, I'm picking I'm gonna pick Tekla here. That's how I feel. But I do think there would be a good story to tell if like Tekla's been torturing Stardom and then Stardom takes the title. Someone from Stardom takes the title from Tekla, and then maybe that leads to Tekla going over there and like winning the belt back over there in Stardom if they wanted to. I just think there's cool stuff you could do. But like I said, I think Tekla's going to win. I think Tekla has earned herself kind of that match at All In for being the champion. I think she's delivered and done everything they've asked and more. Butters, I'll go to you next. I'm leaning that way, but I do think that there's a fun thing they could do if they wanted to have like a shocking thing happen tonight here.
Yeah, I mean, there like we said, there's not a whole lot of possible title changes on this show.
Yeah.
This could definitely be one, and like they don't have to, obviously she can get it back in Canada or anywhere else, and it could, she could, but to have that after everything she's done to kind of build this feud, she is the bad guy, and to see the bad guy get the comeuppance is something that's kind of needed to kind of put her back in her place and like kind of put Stardom over. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know if I'd be happy with Stardom if they have this other company's champion spitting on our logo and going there and attacking the president and doing all these things. That just makes Stardom look like shit unless she gets beat and gets shown like, no, you aren't the hottest thing in the world. So I mean, if there's one match that the title is going to change hands at the show, I would think it would be this one. I think Starlight, we don't know her, unknown for a lot of the American audience, and this could be a way to be like, oh, check this out, this person is really good. So
yeah And how you feeling?
Before this match, I thought this was just kind of a shoe-in for Tekla to retain and keep moving forward. After you guys are talking, it's got me more and more excited about this match. I am not familiar with Starlight Kid at all. I didn't know the history. I knew there was history between these two, but 0-4 against Starlight Kid is that's something to talk about. I could be wrong. I don't know if they've brought that up on AEW television.
Tekla did in a couple of her
Tekla, okay.
promo, yeah, in a couple of her vignettes and promos. She's, that's kind of what one of the one things they've been using is like, well, you've never beaten, you're sending her over, I've never beaten her, blah blah blah, kind of thing. So
okay, cool. So with that being said, I would absolutely love it. I think Kyle said it best: sprinkle the money line on Starlight Kid, because I think there is a good opportunity. What they should be doing is going into this match with Tekla retaining. That should be the plan. But if Starlight Kid is able to muster the audience and really get them behind him, there could be an audible called during the match, and Starlight, you're going to pick up this win, and you're going to win the title. I think that's something that AEW could bring to the table and be like, look, we are different because this is our main title, changing to a different company's hands. And again, I love having this redemption just around the corner, because that's another card that you could just have the title switch back. Or this could just be a way of getting that title off of Tekla as well, which, in my opinion, right now is at a kind of a standstill. There's not a lot they could do with this title besides let Tekla hold it. There's not a lot of top baby faces right now, especially with Willow hurt. So, as Kyle said, let's get weird. I would be all for Starlight Kid winning. I'm going to pick Tekla, but I am excited about the match now.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the finals of the Women's Cup here just shortly. Yeah, I've kind of always been well, let's talk about another match first, then we'll dive into the other women's match. But we have a singles match. Probably will be a match of the year, match of the night candidate for sure. It is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega. My God, I would have this open the show and give him a fucking hour, man. Give him an hour if you want. This is going to be, not really, but 45 minutes. Give them whatever they want. I don't care. This is going to be tremendous. I wish they would have let Zach talk. I mean, he did have the one line on Wednesday, but you got him there for 2. It was a great line, but you got him there for 2 weeks. He can cut a good promo. I would have liked maybe a full promo from Zach here in the lead up, but this match doesn't really need a lead up. This is just two of the all-time great in-ring guys, and they're going to have a barn burner. Ian, I'll swing it back to you to lead us here with this one, but this is just this happened before, but it hasn't happened in AEW. It's a dream match. This is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, doing some research on this match, I had no idea. There's only been one time that these two have faced each other, and that was over in New Japan. So the idea we get to see it now, especially with, I think even since that match has happened, both of these guys have evolved tremendously. Kenny Omega, I still don't want to call it his retirement tour because it's really sad to say it, but it kind of does feel like that, where he's getting all of his friends back. Hey, one last time, let's do it. Let's just run it on a show. I'm going in with this. I'm glad there hasn't been too much of a promo battle between this. It's a fantasy booking between these guys. A lot of people are calling for Kenny Omega to do the redemption or the retirement tour thing and putting Zack Sabre Jr. over. I'm not too certain about that because there are plans for Kenny to go for the main title, which I know I said earlier on, like, wins don't mean too much unless you're going for a title. This is the case where a win does mean something. Kenny Omega needs to win this match if he's going to be around that main title. I'm excited for this match. This is, again, like you said, open it, please, because if it's an hour long, I'd go to bed after.
Yeah, exactly. Shep, I mean, dream match, man. Just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable, but I look at Zack Sabre Jr. He's kind of replacing what we had with Brian, right? Brian's on the shelf. He's commentary now or whatever. We need a true grappler, right? And I want him to come from New Japan, and I want him to work his way into American wrestling, and I want a summer of Zack Sabre Jr. So on my pick on the Confidence Show on Friday night, I got Zack Sabre Jr. going over for 1 point. So I feel like if this happens, we have a summer of Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
And I want that.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I would like Zack Sabre Jr. to be over as a North American. Like I mainly watch North American wrestling. That's mainly what I watch. I would love to be able to see Zack Sabre Jr. on a more regular basis. That is a good upset pick. Butters, so they're kind of split. Where are you feeling about this dream match that we're going to see tonight?
So I love Zack Sabre Jr. I love when he calls people a dickhead. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's all he really needs to say. He is a former New Japan world champion and or IWGP champion, I should say. So like he can do it all. Like I mean, everybody always said, oh, he needs to put on more weight. He's done like the best that he can with what he has. The one winged angel could absolutely be turned into a pin, I'm sure, from Zach. There's a lot of stuff going into it, but like you said, Kenny needs to move on to the next show. He needs to get this. He's probably going to be challenging for that title at MJF. There's potential for him to beat MJF for that belt, so he needs to beat Zack Sabre. I don't know what's going on with Zack Sabre right now. If contract wise, if he's sticking with New Japan, or if maybe this is the time he comes to America and does it full time. I know, like I was there when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was really hoping he was going to sign with WWE, and I'm glad he didn't. And he went on his own route, went to New Japan, and did all the things there. So. I would love to see him over here again with an American company, so I could see him on TV all the time because his wrestling is insanely smooth. But yeah, it's got to be Kenny. I think Kenny's retirement tour. He does pick up the win here. He does go on to face MJF and then potentially Will Ospreay at All In. So
yeah, I think that is probably the direction. I think at the very least, Kenny Omega is fighting for the world title in Redemption in Montreal in Canada. I think that I would bet on that. So I think him kind of going in with the loss wouldn't make sense. So I have Kenny winning this as well. And I know you said the summer. I assume Zack Sabre Jr. will be in the G1. I just assume. So his summer might be, but this is a guy pending his contract situation. You want to tell me come Continental Classic time, he's somebody that they throw in there and he's over here for a month then and the Continental Classic, sign me up, please. That would be some good shit, pal. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Moxley? Okay. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But I'm picking Kenny. I think Kenny is heading towards that world, at least a world title match at the very least. So I'm going to take Kenny.
I'm encouraged thinking about that. Oof.
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean, I like to get people excited sometimes. That's what it is. All right, let's dive into our Owen Hart Cup finals here. Let's start on the women's side. It is Mercedes Moné trying to go back to back and win the Owen again. And we got a true Cinderella story here as her opponent, as these two girls weren't even in the brackets when they were first released. Neither of them were not in those original brackets, but they have made their way to the finals. Mercedes looking to go back-to-back, and Maya World, which has just had, filled in for an injured Suri, and she has taken the world by storm, upsetting in the first round and then upsetting Athena, who a lot of people, I'm a lot of people, had penciled in for this match against Mercedes tonight. Yeah. I think a lot of us did, but this has been a true great story. Just kind of, she's had some personal tragedy. Plus, she's just, listen, there was a situation a while ago where they had a female tag team that didn't want to do business. And Maya World and High End stepped up and they did business and they've been doing good business. And I think this is Tony kind of tipping his cap, tipping the cap and going, hey, like, I'm rewarding good work and I'm rewarding loyalty. And you've shown up to work even in the worst of circumstances with her losing her brother. And like, I just think that this has been a great story. I do think an upset is possible here. I do. But All In, there's no way Mercedes. I can't go against it. It would be crazy though if they had the Cinderella story actually. Mercedes has lost all her belts, and even though the Owen Championship isn't like a belt you defend, she technically still has that title. And if she wins this one, she'll keep that title. I've always kind of said that I thought the first time Mercedes was going to win the women's title, she would be a babyface. And she's not a babyface right now. She's still the same Mercedes. So maybe getting humbled even further and actually losing that belt spawns the redemption of Mercedes Moné somehow. But I think it's very hard to pick against her going back to back. Ian, I'll go to you first. But I do think the Cinderella story thing here, and of all the people, I know Mercedes wants to be the best, but Athena and Mercedes, they know good business, and I think they see the future, and I think they have a hit. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, is all.
Yeah, so the sports fan in me loves the idea of Maya World going to this championship. The issue with it is you're going to all in with Maya World.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a tough sell. Even if the rest of the card is stacked, it's a gamble. It truly is. And I think Maya World's done wonders this year, and I think the world of her future. Mercedes Moné could have been facing Athena. That's where my head is at. They faced each other last year in the semifinals. And even then, I was upset that Athena lost. I'm even more upset that Athena lost this year because it's right there. Athena in AEW, I think she is a needle mover. I think she would help this division out tremendously. Over at OTM, we've been talking about Athena and how good she could be for this division, but she's just stuck with that ROH title. And I don't mean stuck in a negative light. It's just like, what she's doing with that title is fantastic, and it's fantastic for business, especially for ROH. I don't know. It's that whole meme of like a Bugatti sitting in the middle of a trash house. It's like she's there, but it's in ROH, and no one wants to pay for ROH, which sucks. But it's got to be Mercedes, has to be. And if it's Maya World here, I'm a little concerned. But also, right now, it's Mercedes versus Tekla.
That's the thing, right? So it's
such
like
a weird sell that it's a dastardly heel versus a dastardly heel, and
we do have the pay-per-view in between now, so there's ways to get to that story. Shep,
right.
Obviously, you want to say something, but I guess there's a way to get to that, but that's where I'm like, oh, could they go a different route? Like, I agree with everything Ian said. It's not Mercedes on the marquee is a bigger name than Maya World for sure. Duh, that's a no-brainer. I'm not debating that at all. But it's also, again, looking at this show, where are the surprises really on this show? I'm kind of, I don't know, Shep, it looked like you wanted to say something there.
Well, when you say heel versus heel, I feel like after Mercedes has dropped all 13 belts or how many belts she had, right? I feel like she's come to reality, and I feel like she's not so much a heel all of a sudden. Like people are sympathizing with her, and she's working her way back up. So I almost don't. I don't know. Maybe I don't feel like she's such an asshole heel that she was before that we all loved, right?
I guess the issue is she hasn't said much since she's returned, and it's been so early in her return that we don't really know the trajectory of her. So I get what you're saying. It's just, from an outside perspective, the last we saw her, she was dominant on AEW. Dominant. Yeah. And she was an awful, or not an awful heel, but like a piece of shit heel. Yeah. So that's the last we've seen of her. There has been nothing that has said, like, you should feel bad for her. I get it. The sports fan to me is like, yeah, she's got to make her way back. But they haven't made that apparent. They haven't made that a thing.
Yeah, it's true. Butters, how are you feeling about everything? Like, it's been a great story, the Maya World story. But we're here now, and she's going against, defending Owen champ, final boss-esque Mercedes. It's a tough final battle in the Cinderella story here.
So the clock strikes midnight in this match, and Maya's going to turn back into a pumpkin. This is it for her. Like, she had her moment. They gave her little bit of the little things that she needed to kind of like tell this story. But I think they've taken us on this direction where, like, you see Mercedes attacking her and like being a bad guy still, and not like learning from her mistakes. I do think she wins the Owen again this year, but I do think also that we're going to see something happen to where the crowd is going to flip and become her biggest supporters here instead of her haters, because there's so many things you can do in wrestling, and I think one of the easiest things to do, at least in stuff that I've booked, is like playing with the heel and face dynamics. It's very easy to turn people however you want, as long as you don't do it a ton of times. I feel like turning Mercedes will be easy for them to do. Once they do it, you turn up the heat with Tekla and that story. And it kind of writes itself for All In, if that's where they want to go, or if they want to extend it out a little bit further, they even can. So, like, if I'm wrong and Tekla doesn't lose the title tonight, and we are going to go into All In with her as a dominant heel champion, I can see them, if they want to turn Mercedes face, absolutely. But also, if Tekla, being the cool heel that she is, I mean, they can also play with her enough to turn her to where she's a face, and Mercedes is still the bad guy going into this. So I mean, they can play with those things. It's very easy to do. Like,
Oh, for sure.
playing with people's emotions when it comes to wrestling is very easy. Maybe it's an ego in me, but the stuff that I've done in like the local stuff that I've done, it's very easy to play with people's emotions and turn like people that you think that they love them forever, but you can turn them heel so easy. It's so simple. You just give them a couple things and people will boo the shit out of them. So it's I think that it's I wouldn't underestimate Tony Khan's ability to do that. So I'm gonna say Mercedes wins. She goes back to back, and she goes on to face somebody for the title. I mean, even if it is Starlight, maybe it's Starlight Kid. She goes against all.
Maybe.
Who knows? Like what we have going on there. So
and I think at the very least, like, they've kind of done a really good job of kind of making Maya World a little bit in this tournament by her even getting to this point. And I think even in defeat in this match, with the quality of match I'm expecting it to be, like, I think she's going to be even more kind of made, regardless of what happens here. Obviously, if she wins the thing, she's like made. But like, even if she loses, like, I think they've done a good job of, whether they have her and Hyann be a tag team to build in that division, or it's singles based or whatever. I think they've done a really good job by Maya World even getting to this moment tonight, that she's a potential player for them immediately. I mean, kind of moving forward.
Young, there's plenty of time for her to. I mean, she's not one of their best. She's okay in the ring, so I feel like giving her this now is probably a mistake. If they give it to her now, I think it's a step in the wrong direction. But I think that in the next 5 years, she might become to the point where it was given that she should win this. But like, getting to the finals is no small feat either. So I mean, That's something that they can always play off of in the future. So
yeah. And then we flip over to the men's side of things, and I think when those brackets were released, this is what we thought we were going to end up with. And we got here, and boy, oh boy, every time these guys are in the ring with each other, it is absolute magic. Like Swerve said in that promo a couple weeks ago, I expect this to be more magic tonight. Ospreay has never beaten Swerve, and it is Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, the winner heading to All In England. This has been a story AEW has been telling us for a year and a half with Will Ospreay. I think we're probably all going to be aligned here, but I think regardless of potentially everyone kind of knowing Will was going to win this tournament from the jump, if they go that route, I don't think that takes away from how good this match is going to be right out the chute. It's a match of the year candidate. It should be one of the matches of the night, if not the match of the night. This is going to be a real, real good one, Butters, Ospreay and Swerve.
This could be the main event of All In, and I wouldn't think twice about it. I'm hoping this goes on before 10 o'clock because I don't want to have to seek this out tomorrow. I don't want to go to bed not knowing who won this match. This is going to be stellar. This is a match of the year candidate just on paper. They get in the ring, it becomes a match of the year candidate. Just standing across from each other. This feels like the first time that Danielson and Omega stood across from each other. The crowd just chanting "Holy shit!" because this is the build has been okay. It hasn't been anything crazy, but you have Will Ospreay flirting with the Death Riders, flirting with the dark side, and you have Swerve, who has gone completely dark side here, completely abandoned all the good that was in him, and this is just the makings for a crazy spot fest. That, I mean, does the referee uphold rules? Do they pull out a weapon here? Do they do something? I mean, what can we get out of this? Because I just feel like we're gonna get it all. They're gonna throw everything at it. To tell this story, Ospreay still has 2 months to All In. If he loses this, can he beat MJF and become champion going into All In? That's not the great story that they've been teasing this entire time, but AEW isn't known for foreshadowing too many things too early. Like, if you look at this card, a lot of these are just semi-educated guesses that we are all making. It's not as obvious as other companies used to be, or how wrestling used to be. It is a very, I don't have an idea of going in who could win what, and it always makes sense somehow. So yeah, Ospreay winning and going on and doing the boyhood dream deal would make a lot of sense. But is Tony Khan that predictable? I don't know. Yes, sometimes, maybe. I don't know. Sure, the story's good enough there. Fine, let's do it. But maybe we don't. Maybe we do something else. I don't know. I mean, I would probably say, yeah, Ospreay's going to take it, but there's just something in the back of my mind that goes, but what if he doesn't?
Yeah.
So.
Shep, how are you feeling? Who's gonna win the Owen on the men's side of things?
It's gonna be Will Ospreay. He's gonna be in London. You know, it just has to happen, right? Do I think this will be a match of the year candidate? Absolutely. I think these guys will tear down the house. I think halfway through this match, I'm going to watch this match and go, holy shit, I picked Ospreay. I'm going to lose. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're going to sell me so good on this match. But yeah, I still think it's Will. And we're going to see him in London, which is his home. And then we'll go from there. But these guys should steal the show tonight. These guys should steal the show, which I don't know if you guys watched the KOP. I am not a fan of this main event we're going to have. I'm not a fan. I think it's a bunch of shit thrown together, throw against the wall, and here we go. But as of an actual wrestling match with a story, this should be your main event tonight.
Okay. Ian, we'll have you round this out. I think, I love Swerve. I prefer, if you're asking me who I prefer of these two, even though I like them both, I prefer Swerve. I would love to see Swerve get the win here, but I'm kind of aligning with, I just think England, his home country, the boyhood dream angle, like Butters said, this is lining up for this to be Ospreay's tournament.
I would 100% agree with you, because that's what they are trying to sell us for the past, as long as I can remember. Butters, I think you said it perfectly. They have been trying to tell us that Will Ospreay is going to All In for as long as we can remember, which makes me think, like, how many times does AEW do this, and how many times does Tony Khan want you to think that way? And pun very much intended here. A Swerve comes in. I am not 100% sold on Will Ospreay winning this match. Butters, you said another thing that I don't agree with. You said Will Ospreay has gone full dark. I don't think so.
No, he's dabbled in it. He hasn't gone full dark.
So
but I feel like Swerve has. Swerve is deep. He is the Sithist of Siths at this point.
And I think that leads me to where I want this match to go. I would, in my opinion, I don't think this whole Death Riders thing, changing Will Ospreay is near completion. Will Ospreay is still a good dude that wants to cater to the fans. We see it every single week. Swerve knows how to turn people heel. He knows how to get that next gear in somebody. Hangman, that entire trilogy of matches was absolutely electric and fantastic. That was the most heelish stuff we've seen on pro wrestling on main television. Who knows how long? And it was all because of Swerve. That was where he led the story, and it got darker and darker every single week. This is a perfect opportunity for not only for Swerve to pull off a giant upset and leave the crowd stunned, especially if this isn't your main event. You could leave the crowd stunned, and then you go into the funness of the main event, which we'll talk about. But have Will Ospreay lose here. He could find his way into All In, but I don't think we're going to get any bit of a baby face of Will Ospreay going into All In. I like the Death Riders changing him behind the scenes. I love these backstage segments that they have him in. I want Will Ospreay to lose here, and I don't want to see his face until All In. I keep him off TV, and I want him to stun his hometown crowd, be a dick, don't even acknowledge the fans, don't do anything with your intro. I think that could be a good step for Will Ospreay, and again, throw the Swerve in this entire storyline.
All right. That would be
Yeah.
that would be out of the box. Yeah, I mean, look, I would never complain about a Swerve victory, especially him heading back towards the world title. I don't know though. And I agree with you as far as the Tony thing goes. Do we think we see Hangman show up? They both talked about him in the promo. Swerve mentioned him a few times. Obviously, we know their history, but Hangman beat Ospreay in the finals of this tournament last year. Is there a chance that we get Hangman showing up tonight? Whether it, they mentioned him. He's been gone since Double or Nothing, obviously. Revolution even. So is there a chance maybe we see?
Is this a big enough pay-per-view to have him come back?
I think this match is big enough.
I think there's this pay-per-view needs a bunch of surprises to kind of keep the fans flowing throughout and people talking about it, because Forbidden Door is notoriously like one of the ones where like it's not the biggest show for them because a lot of the regular American fans don't know about Stardom or New Japan or CMLL. So these matches don't mean a lot to them. It's kind of like a whatever, but it's for like the real hardcore sickos. To bring back big names gets people and gets eyes on what all is going on the pay-per-view. So people will be talking about it regardless, but I feel like this will get even more people talking about it if you bring back these names. Where does Hangman fit in this picture? They both talked about him. They've both been in the ring with him. So what does he do here? Does he stick with Swerve? Does he come back and hang out with Ospreay? Do they, what happens here? Does he even show up at all? I mean, it could be,
Yeah.
If he's gonna show up, it's gonna be with Swerve.
I think that would be the route to go. Have him kind of align with Swerve, which is something we haven't. Like if he were to come back and choose Swerve and not the good guy in Ospreay, I think that would be a real different. I feel like that would be different.
Hangman is a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And then we have him and we have Mox at All In with the roles reversed a year later, where Mox is the good guy with Ospreay being a good guy, and then we have heel Hangman and heel Swerve.
I mean, I think that's a possibility, because I do think I have Ospreay winning this, and I do think a logical feud for Swerve, like coming out of a loss, is him going after Moxley. I think him versus Moxley for the Continental title and a feud. Swerve, like I think that's a big time feud, even though it wouldn't be for the world title. If Will does win and go up to the world title at All In, I think Swerve and Mox, if Hangman comes back, that's a great idea, Butters. I think there's definitely some stuff they could do that could be very Hangman and Swerve. Like Swerve helped last year at All In, but they really were never, like this because of their history. But if Hangman came back and he was a heel and like fully aligned with Swerve, that would be something we've never seen before from these two guys, and kind of the next iteration of this what will be a feud forever. I feel like between Swerve and Hangman. I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, we do have what would be. I agree with your sentiment, Shep, as far as like I feel like the Ospreay Swerve match is like the main event of the night, but I also feel like you don't really want to put one of the Owens as the proper main event because that makes it feel like it's more important than the other. I just feel like I would rather MJF just having a world title match, if I was being honest, to end the show, but it's 6-on-6. It's going to be chaotic.
Ospreay and Swerve has to open the show. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, wouldn't hate it. Either that or Kenny
8 o'clock. Give me 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's Team Briscoe, which is Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Konosuke Takeshita, and Darby Allin, the newlywed Darby Allin. Congratulations, Darby. Going up against Team MJF, which is obviously MJF and the Don Callis family, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Jake Doyle, Andre El Idolo. Okay. If Mark Briscoe wins, if that team wins, Mark Briscoe gets a future championship match against MJF. If MJF's team wins, he obviously does not. Mark Briscoe's team, which I think is one of the few points that Mark Briscoe's kind of been correct about. Mark Briscoe's team, at least the conglomeration side of it, they're like this. They're buds. Whereas MJF's team, it's a full-on business transaction. And most of the guys on MJF's team, and when I say most, I mean all, they all want a shot at the world title in MJF. So they don't really care for MJF.
How you know? How you know?
I have one question for you. How you know?
No. There you go.
You're ready.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where you have a team that is at least friendly with each other versus a team that is just they're there for the money. They don't really care. They want a shot at MJF as much as the guys across from them do. I want us to talk it through, but I think we are going to see another surprise in this match. But you know what, Shep? I'll go to you first, pal. I know you said you didn't like the fact that this is going to be the main event. I think that it's very on purpose, so you don't value one of the Owens over the other, just for that talking point that the internet would explode about. So you just, I think this is just kind of like, all right, a chaotic last 20 minutes to end the show. Bodies and Darby's getting thrown off the fucking top of the kid. We know,
Right,
hey,
right.
Congratulations on getting married. Get ready to die the next day. Like that's, but.
And plus the IWC hates me already, right? Like, let's be honest. I think if Briscoe wins, we're going to get a world title match on a Dynamite or a Collision, which, excuse my French, who gives a shit, right? And I love Briscoe.
But you know he's not going to win that match, really. So it's just really giving him the match to give him the match.
Correct.
And it's just,
Correct. It's making us watch it on Wednesday. But looking at the Don Callis team, which I think is if you stack them to the Briscoe team, like Don Callis is here, Briscoe's here. Like, talent to talent, they're stacked. So I have Team MJF, which I'm the only one on the KOP podcast that has Team MJF. But I think they win, and then MJF moves on to something else, which we have Kenny Omega, we have Zack Sabre Jr., we have all that shit going on.
The team too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got 4 or 5 challengers that are on his. Kevin Knight has expressed he wants the title. Obviously, Andrade. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want MJF and Andrade. That's what I really am clinging to here. And then you mentioned Kenny. We all talked earlier that we think Kenny is kind of lined up for that title shot at Redemption potentially. How you know? Really? How you know?
How you know?
Yeah. So you got Team MJF.
MJF all the way.
Okay. Ian, how you feeling?
I think you said it all. They've done a really, honestly, everything being said, like they've done a really good job at building this match because there are so many wrinkles in this match that like I genuinely don't know who's going to win. On paper, MJF's team should win, right? Talent to talent, you talked about it. But they've done a great job storyline-wise in telling it that this team does not cooperate well with one another whatsoever. However, Briscoe's team, fantastic. They're all buddy-buddy. Everybody's good. Even Konosuke Takeshita, who's just joined the conglomeration, whatever that is. Even he's all in for it. So my perspective going into this match, they were hoping for more of a build for Briscoe and hoping that the crowd would really want to see him be a title holder. But I just don't think it's hit as much as it has. We talked about OTM. I love Mark Briscoe. We all love Mark Briscoe. He's fantastic when he's slotted in for his special, crazy, go batshit crazy, go hurt yourself out there. Kind of like a Darby Allin situation. But the promos just aren't there. I don't think it's all worked up to the point where we might see him contend for the title. I think everybody in AEW audience sees that. So from that perspective, I'm going to go with Team MJF. They're going to pull it through somehow. But you talked about it, like we need a surprise somehow.
Oh, I know what it is.
I will let you go next then.
I know what it is. So, and then we'll run. I think we're seeing Wardlow.
Oh, whoa.
Wardlow joined the Don Callis family when he returned, and he got injured the same night. So we haven't seen him for what feels like 2.5 years. But when he came back for that one night, he joined the Don Callis family.
Does that move the needle though?
And I could easily see with the history of MJF in Wardlow, that history and Wardlow being with the Don Callis family, I could see Andrade walking out of this match and telling MJF to go screw. I could see a couple of these guys doing that, to be honest with you. And MJF looks like he's screwed and outmanned, and Callis has one last, whatever up his sleeve, and it's Wardlow, who's been ready. We've heard he's been ready. He's back. He's good to go. He comes back. He helps MJF win, and that's where you go. That gets MJF to win, and then Wardlow can feud with Briscoe, and you can do whatever you want over here with that. I'm not saying he comes back and aligns with MJF, but I think he just comes back and does the boss's dirty work for him when maybe a couple guys don't stay in line, Andrade in particular. I think that's a good surprise that could kind of throw some life into things at the end of the show and stuff like that. That's what I think, Butters. I'm leaning MJF's team winning as well. But how are you feeling about this main event? Like, does Briscoe get the title shot?
I mean, they're going to keep MJF on TV, and maybe he's doing defenses every week. So you figure if Briscoe wins, he gets a title shot. But also, if you look at all of Don Callis family wants those shots. So like Andrade can get that shot. Kevin Knight can get that shot. There's a lot of play there to where regardless if MJF's team wins or not, I think those shots are going to happen regardless because bad guys will screw over other bad guys. It doesn't matter. They will do something to make that happen. Sure, Briscoes win. The Briscoe team wins. Send the crowd home happy after whatever happens in the show. And then, we do get that big, I mean, you don't bring up Jay Briscoe and that kind of thing happening without Mark getting his redemption on that each time they want to bring up his dead brother. That needs to be kind of counteracted with like Mark getting that thing to make that happen. And then he doesn't get it done here, but he doesn't win the belt, but he did at least redeem the fact that it proved to himself that he could do it and get that title shot and get into the big dance. But things happen, whatever. But yeah, you don't MJF doesn't get to mention Jay Briscoe and then there not be some type of you're going to get your shit kicked in for that. You don't do that.
For sure. So, yeah. So, again, listen, do I think it's the greatest main event for the show tonight? No, I don't. But at 12 guys in a steel cage, it's going to be insane. There's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be a chaotic way to end the show. And then if they do a nice surprise, maybe it's something we aren't thinking about. Maybe, I don't know. They could have a good, I do feel like the show is going to need something that's going to make us. I mean, we're diehards. We're going to watch it on Wednesday, duh. But I do think, especially with this being the main event, I do think something big has to kind of happen in this match to kind of make us go, okay, like I got to tune in Wednesday to see what the hell this is going to be with the world title picture or whatever. So hopefully we get something, but I mean, look, we just went through the card. It's a dynamite card. It's stacked. This is going to be a really, really good show tonight. And thank you to everybody in the chat that stuck with us for an hour and 20. We've been talking Forbidden Door. Go follow us, main-event_net on Twitter, on Instagram. Subscribe here on YouTube. We're on the road to 400. This little QR code right here, click that, put that in your camera. It will bring you to all the good stuff. Follow all of us here. I'm going to go around and let everybody plug their stuff and their socials and stuff. Ian, I'll start with you and kind of swing around, but let the people know where they can follow you, where they can find you, and what you do, man.
Yeah, no, at Pod on the Mark. You could find us pretty much everywhere at Pod on the Mark. YouTube, we are pushing right now for 600 subscribers, so follow us on there, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. But we're live every single Thursday normally, sometimes on a Wednesday. But yeah, I am just one of the four now co-hosts. Kyle is in the background. Mr. OTM, he leads the charge. Jim Tucker's also with us. And then producer Bert, no longer producer, but he's also on the show as well. We talk AEW, we talk WWE. I only talk to AEW because I'm our show's tribalist. So I had a really good time, boys. This is fun.
Yeah, I did too. This has been a great time. Shep, why don't you go next? Talk about kicking out and where people can find you and where you guys are live on here.
All right. Hey, you can follow me, the Shep27 on Instagram and Twitter. Kicking Out Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, I think Facebook. I don't know. I'm not a big Facebook guy. But we go live every Sunday night at 8:30. We talk all AEW, Collision, Dynamite, and whatever other rabbit holes I decide to make those guys follow me on. So please follow us. And, there we go.
There we go. And Butters.
Charlie_Butters on Twitter. IW Guide 1 on Twitter as well, where we talk indie wrestling every Thursday. That drops at midnight on Thursdays. This Thursday, I just confirmed we will have the Problem Isaiah Broner on.
Nice.
To talk about ETU and AIW and all the shows this month that he is doing and so much more. So that's going to be happening. We release our schedule usually the first of the month. I have it up on there. We review a bunch of different indie shows from all over the U.S., West Coast, East Coast, down South, Midwest, that kind of thing. And then we have interviews with a lot of the great talent that you will eventually see on AEW or WWE television. So,
Hell yeah. That's a big get for that next show. That's going to be a fun one. You can find me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. You can find me right here most Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern for Kayfabe Coffee, the Morning J with JPJ, as we talk AEW Dynamite. That's where you can find me right here on this channel. Thursday nights with my main squeeze, Pluggo, who also does fine work here on Main Event. We do Between Two Beards over on Love Wrestling CA. And then on Sunday afternoons at noon Eastern over on Fightful Overbooked, me and someone who was in the chat earlier, Auntie Collins, we do a show called Coast to Coast where you can find me over there. But if you follow me right here, I release my weekly schedule every Monday. You can kind of find where I'm at through the week and all stuff like that. I also do stream on Twitch, play a lot of sports game, college football coming out on Thursday. So we'll have a lot of fun with that and things like that. But I want to thank you boys. This was a lot of fun. Love talking wrestling. And this was a good chat with you three. Should be a good one tonight. Everybody enjoy the wrestling. It's already started. Slammiversary started 25 minutes ago, if you're into that. But enjoy the rest of the wrestling giant weekend. And thank you for tuning in. Go like, subscribe, and follow. Do all the things as Ian said. And we will see you next time right here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. Peace.
What up, though? You already know what it is. Best in the world, a.k.a. The Problem, Isaiah Broner. And you watching the Main Event Wrestling Network.